start your own business. That's the worst advice you can give them. Because it takes 3 skills to run a business: a technical skill, the entrepreneurial skill, and a management skill. The technical skill is what you actually do: rapping, baking pies, so on and so forth. The management skill is the people business. You learn how to manage people and manage attitudes and all that type of stuff. And the entrepreneurial skill is actually running, building the business, money, systems, and all that type of stuff. If you want to be an artist and you want to start your own business, realize you need to have all those skills. Just because you can rap does not mean you can manage people, because that's what it takes. And it does not mean that you may have an entrepreneurial skill, which is fine, because that forces us to work together. For a long time, I have 5 albums, and my last album debuted for 5 days in the top 50 on iTunes. Why did it do that? My first 3 albums, I did everything myself. I made the beats, I rapped on the joint, I did the cover, you know what I mean? I did everything. Finally, my 4th album is called Man on Fire, and this dude, he's a creative artist, and he said, Sean, let me help you out with some of the creative direction. And he came up with so many ideas I never even thought about. And I was like, man, that's dope. So he came up with ideas, and we came up with some schedules, and when to drop a single, and when to so on and so forth. And that album did a lot better than my first 3. The prototype, when it came to the last album I just dropped, I had somebody come up with the name. I had somebody come up with the song order. I had the only thing I did on the album was rap. You know what I'm saying? The first time in my career that all I did was rap. And it was the best album I've ever done.
You get to do that. You get to just be the artist.
Because I was just the artist. So I had to realize, all right, Sean, in this vein, when you're being a rapper, you need, that team of a few people that's going to help take you there. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some things you're going to lack in, and you need them to pick up that weight. And so, if you go to an independent label, independent labels, I think, are great. They're a great way to learn about small business. But as a small business, you need to put people around you. You know what I'm saying? And everybody can't rap. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the group can't. You need somebody that don't want to rap. They don't want to do nothing. All they want to do is just call people. Hey, look, we got so and so. And they come to your joint. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody want to rap. I mean, you got like 58 songs. Ain't no calls being made. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I do think the independent thing is the way, especially now, especially in the recession, especially with the time that we have, the interest rates are low, and people now are getting, you got a lot of young dudes coming, talking about Kendrick Lamar, and you have a lot of these names coming out, and now there's this, oh yeah, he's sweet. And it's kind of like right now what's happening, it's kind of like I don't want to call it the early 90s, when you had like Intelligent Hoodlum, De La Soul, Brand Nubian, Positive K, Young MC, NWA. Like that was a crazy time. Like between the late 80s and early 90s.
That was crazy.
You had, I'm so glad I was born in that time. It was a crazy time. It was a wonderful time. Yeah. And we're kinda sorta coming back to that a little bit, kinda. We're trying to a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So you got kind of like the Kendrick Lamars and you got some other artists that are yes, you know what I'm saying? I mean you got artists that typically pop would not accept, but young dudes are kind of checking for on YouTube. They might not have the sales, but they got the YouTube numbers and they got the independent numbers. I think right now is the time to do your independent. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that really broke the independent barrier was 2 websites, Reverb Nation and TuneCore. Get your stuff on iTunes. Any artist can get your stuff on iTunes. Reverb Nation and TuneCore. Yes, once that broke the barrier,
that's it.
Why go to a record label? Quick and easy.
Unless any of either 2 panelists would like to comment.
Independent, I think it's best.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
It creates self-sufficiency.
Word, get some knowledge.
Okay, quick personal questions. Who has been a major influence and inspiration in the hip-hop culture and why?
KRS for me, because KRS showed me
when he came out that you could be intellectual and be an MC. Him and Rakim. Everybody was screaming. Rakim melted it out, came with more lyrical content. You know what I mean? That was Rakim being a 5%er. That was huge. Rakim and KRS. KRS more for me on a personal. Yeah, because of that, because of his intellect. And I didn't think, you know, I was kind of a nerd a little bit or whatever, you know what I mean? And I wasn't even thinking about rhyming, I was b-boying at the time. But if I decided to, I love rap so much, I knew everybody's lyrics. Like if I decided to rap, I don't have gold chains, I'm not even old enough to go to no party. But then KRS did a song called Poetry, changed my life. I was like, oh man, you know what I mean? And so, KRS. And that's why, because he's so, and now that I know him, you know, he's an elder, you know, he's in hip hop, he has 19 albums. You know what I mean? Been there from the beginning, you know, came out in '88, through all the craziness, you know what I mean? Still doing real hip hop. KRS.
For me, I would say Nas. I'm from Queens, so I'm biased. I'm sorry.
Amen.
I was a big Nas fan. Rappers on Monkey Flip 'em with the funky rhythm, I be kick. Come on, dog. I mean, hearing. Now obviously he graduated from the school of Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Because Rakim was that lyricist. I mean, Kane was as well.
True indeed. True indeed.
Oh, Kane was a lyricist.
True indeed.
You can't be sleeping on his lyrics.
True indeed.
But Nas, to me, he just epitomized. He was the MC's MC. And growing up in Queens, man, he was just that dude.
Yeah,
He was just that dude. And then Biggie. And it's funny, I have all these talks with these young dudes on Top 5 and so on and so forth, where to put Biggie because his life was ended short. You'll be hard pressed to find any artist whose first 2 albums were classic. Jay-Z's first album was a classic. And then he started doing like the Streets Watch and all that stuff. Anybody. Nas' first album was a classic. Second album was close, you know what I'm saying? But that's when he got with Lauryn Hill and so on and so forth. Who? First 2 albums?
Sound quality on microphone thing, I'm probably the one.
Yeah.
That's what hurt me.
Yeah, but that's like the standard, dog. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, you definitely have an argument for that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Rakim to me is the standard, and when you talk about Nas, you're almost talking about Rakim. Because that's where he got that flow from, you know what I'm saying? But with Biggie, you know what I'm saying, he did a lot of things to change the game in his short career. And you know, he was from Brooklyn, Queens and Brooklyn, and we ride together. Harlem and Bronx, they ride together.
Oh, that's how it is?
Yeah. Brooklyn and Queens ride together, and the Staten Island, they just a long shot. And yeah, so the video.
I mean, I do feel Rakim and everything, but being a producer, Mal, Premier,
Preach.
RZA, and Dilla.
Yes, sir.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. I look up to all those producers, and that's why my style is like it is today, and that's I love it.
And Joe dope.
I can probably answer the question. Yes, sir. All right. I'm gonna go with Africa Bambaataa. Bambaataa was one of the most ruthless gang leaders in New York in the early 70s. Won an essay contest, went to Africa, met an African king, straightened him out, came back and started a whole organization that was built to steer kids away from gang life using his art, which is great. Which is, well, I always love that. Like, I mean, I met Dude countless times, and I'm a fan every time, and it's crazy. But yeah, definitely Africa Bambaataa.
8:34.
You can do one more question.
One more question. That's the last one.
Yes.
What does the hip hop culture and its elements mean to you, and why is it your passion?
Oh man, that was deep.
You can answer that too.
What does hip hop and its elements mean to me? Yeah, man. Let me stretch it out. All right. Honestly, and this is gonna sound extremely cliche.